It was one of those nights that you just know you were going to remember for the rest of your life. The kind of night where the air itself feels electric, where thousands of people packed into one space and every single one of them is vibrating on the same frequency. Sydney, Australia, a Bad Bunny concert. And not just any moment in the show, but right in the middle of DtMF, one of the most emotionally loaded songs in his entire catalog. If you were there, you already know. If you were not there, let me paint the picture for you. Because what happened that night went far beyond a regular concert performance. Something shifted in that arena that nobody was fully prepared for. And by the time it was all over, grown men and women were standing there with tears streaming down their faces, and not a single person was ashamed of it. Welcome to Pop Showroom, where we bring you the stories behind the headlines. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button right now because this story goes deeper than anything you've seen in the mainstream media. Bad Bunny has been doing this for years now, building this reputation as an artist who does not just perform a show, but creates an experience that gets inside your chest and squeezes. But this particular night in Sydney felt different from the moment he stepped on that stage. There was something about the energy in the crowd, something about the way the lights hit when the beat dropped, something about being thousands of miles away from Puerto Rico in a country that should not, by any logical measure, be this deep in their feelings about a Spanish-speaking reggaeton artist. And yet, there they were. Every single person in that building, screaming every single word back at him, like it was the only song they had ever known. Then DtMF started, and the place lost its mind. If you know the song, you already understand why. If you do not, just know that it's not a song you listen to casually. It is a song that finds you in your weakest moment and holds a mirror up to your face. It's about love and loss and the complicated space in between, and Bad Bunny delivers it with this rawness that makes you feel like he is talking directly and only to you. When that song started playing live in Sydney, it hit the crowd like a wave. You could see it ripple through the arena. People who had been jumping and screaming suddenly went quiet and still, holding each other, closing their eyes, letting it wash over them. And then the tears started. Not just a few people here and there. We are talking about thousands of people standing in an Australian arena, many of them people who didn't even grow up speaking Spanish as their first language, breaking down completely over a Bad Bunny song. That right there tells you everything you need to know about what kind of artist he is. Because music that crosses every cultural and language barrier and still hits that deep, that is something rare. That is something you cannot manufacture or market. That just is what it is. But here's where the night took a turn that nobody expected. Here is the part that went from a beautiful concert moment to something that the Australian fans are still talking about, something that spread across social media within hours and had people all over the world reacting. Bad Bunny threw his shoe into the crowd. Now look, artists do wild things at shows all the time. It's part of the theater of it. But there's something about a shoe. There's something primal and personal about a shoe. You wear it on your body. It touches the ground you walk on. And when Bad Bunny pulled that thing off his foot mid-performance and launched it into a sea of tens of thousands of screaming fans, the energy in that building went absolutely nuclear. The lucky person who caught it probably didn't sleep that night. They're probably still staring at it in a glass case somewhere, trying to figure out how to explain to their grandchildren what that moment felt like. But here is where the night took a turn that nobody expected. Here is the part that went from a beautiful concert moment to something that the Australian fans are still talking about, something that spread across social media within hours and had people all over the world reacting. That shoe was not coming back. And before you think that sounds dramatic, just understand the context. When something like that happens at a concert, especially with an artist this big, fans always hold on to hope. They think maybe someone will post about it online. Maybe the team will reach out. Maybe the shoe will find its way back and there will be some beautiful full circle moment. The Australian fans were carrying that hope. They wanted that shoe back, not even necessarily for themselves, but because the gesture felt like it deserved a response, like that piece of the night deserved to stay connected to the city that gave Bad Bunny one of the most emotional receptions of his entire tour. But it was not going back. That was made clear, and when fans realized that the shoe was gone for good, the reaction was something else entirely. People were genuinely upset, not in an entitled, unreasonable way, in a way that only makes sense if you understand how deeply they had connected with that night. It wasn't really about the shoe at all.
The shoe was just a symbol. It represented the whole experience, the tears during DtMF, the feeling of being seen by an artist who flew all the way to the other side of the world and gave them everything he had. And when the shoe wasn't coming back, it felt like the night was slipping away even faster than it already was. Social media lit up immediately. Fans were posting videos, photos, clips of the moment the shoe left his foot and disappeared into the crowd. People were tagging Bad Bunny's accounts, tagging his team, asking questions nobody could really answer. The comment sections turned into a mourning ground and a celebration ground at the same time, which is honestly the most human thing imaginable. You had people writing paragraphs about how that concert changed them. You had people who flew in from other cities, other parts of the country, just to be in that room that night. You had people who saved up for months for those tickets, people who cried before the show even started because they couldn't believe they were actually there.
What makes Bad Bunny different from a lot of artists operating in his level is that he has this ability to make a stadium feel intimate. Somehow, even with 60,000 people around you, it feels like he is giving you something personal. And that is an almost impossible thing to pull off. Most artists at that scale become distant by default. The lights are too big, the screens are too massive, the whole production becomes more about spectacle than connection. But Bad Bunny walks that line better than almost anyone in music right now. Sydney felt that. The audience in that arena felt like they were part of something that was just for them. And in that particular moment during DtMF, with the tears and the crowd and the raw emotion hanging in the air, they were right. The shoe flying into the crowd was like punctuation at the end of a sentence. It was Bad Bunny doing what Bad Bunny does, surprising you, keeping you off balance, reminding you that this is not just a polished touring machine running through a set list. It is alive, it is unpredictable, it is real. Sydney got something real that night, something that could not be bought or staged or recreated. And even without the shoe, they're going to be talking about that performance for a very long time. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.